Hello and welcome. I made a small change to this, but it and and it's a small change. But the reason why I made it was to test out a change to how I'm getting you guys to download it, which will allow a lot more flexibility with it later on, and I'll show you that in a bit as well. But I meant to record this earlier in the day, but when I went to record it, the audio it wasn't properly recording audio from anything at all. And I wasn't gonna bother messing with it at the time. and but I fixed it. Hooray! Somehow I disabled the audio capture from my mic and headset, and so therefore, yeah, I have it capture audio from the mic for my voice and from the headset for the any sounds made by the computer. And so basically, what that's doing, any audio being played through the my headphones is gonna be copied over to the video file or something. I don't know. That's just how I think it works. It's not how it actually works. I can guarantee it. um. Anyways, the way I changed about you guys downloading it is, even though I didn't realize this until I went to put in the download things and tested it and it didn't work, and I realized why. It's because the background there is a separate file from the actual script. And I didn't realize that until after recording the video, but I did put both of the download codes in the description. However, from now on, it'll only be one. And what it'll do is it will download and run a script that downloads everything else for you. See? Huh? Huh? Seems easier. So now I can have it use as many scripts as it wants as long as it's just the one computer. It's easy. Just type in one thing, hit enter, and you're done. Even though it's multiple files. But so now it can have multiple backgrounds. I'll turn off the smoke. And the second background I only made for testing. But if you just flick this lever here, you can switch them. Yeah, it's a very annoying background. But yeah, it prints that no matter what background you have it use, it'll print it in the same way. So you're kind of limited to just the one background size. If I ever figure out a way for it to detect the size of an image, which I'm pretty sure it can't do that, but if in some later version of Computer Crafts they figure out a way for it to be able to do that, then I'll make it compatible with any size. But for now, it's just the one size because, yeah. Unless you manually tell the computer on your own what size it is, I could probably work that out, but that would require you to actually access the computer itself after you download the script. And I'm trying to prevent that as much as possible with this. But this isn't working this way just because it's two backgrounds, two states of a lever. It'll work just the same with any amount of backgrounds. And so basically what it's doing is, right now it's checking for the redstone pulse to be on. So I turn it on, switches. And so then it switches it so that now it's going to be checking for the state to be off when now it's currently on. So if I turn it back off, then it'll trigger the toggle. So if I had a third one, instead of going back to the first, it would go to the third. So on and so forth, You can have any amount you want. You can have an infinite amount of backgrounds. Your only limit is your ability to think of new backgrounds. And to make a new background, I forget the background resolution. If we paint tile, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it's 6 by 3, the background resolution. But all you have to do is do this and do this. And since there's already 2 backgrounds, you want the 3 there. Yes. And so now you can design a new background. How about we do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then that. And then that. And then you start it back up. And it doesn't work. No. Then you just flick the lever and it'll go through them all. So yeah. You can have as many backgrounds as you want. And just like the other 3 switches, this is optional. However, if you're going to have the background toggle switch, it's pretty a no-brainer you're going to have the scroll background switch because, you know, it's like, if you're going to put that much effort into it, you might as well go all the way. And this just goes into the front of the computer. Running out of input, so we can only have there's only 2 slots remaining for inputs, which is the right and the bottom. Because that goes into the left there. You need to remember that the direction that this is the front of the computer here. Currently we're looking at the back of the computer. If we break that, should have stopped. Yeah, because it didn't have a monitor to print to. Oopsie. It's not my error message, that's just built into Computer Craft. I'll probably set it up in I'll probably set it up where the script that it's actually running for that isn't the startup, and that this in the startup script is going to be something else. And what that would do is you may know the glitch where I'm pretty sure I can show it on this one here. If it would work. It is a glitch, so it's a good thing it's not working. Yeah. Bright side to everything. Okay, so that's the top there. Trying to show something. It's the maximum distance that way. So if you just do the I'm about to start complaining that it's not encountering a glitch. A very inconvenient glitch at that, so it's a good thing it's not encountering it as frequently as I would hope. But, you know, I'm trying to show something off here. Work! Maybe if I, like, disable that and that. Anyways, basically what the glitch is when you resize the monitor, the entire screen just goes red and the script crashes. And basically by having the startup script being something different, what that would do is when this crashes, it would go to the startup script, which would automatically start it back up. And so, yeah. And another thing that I could use a startup script for is my own error messages. So, like, if it crashes out, I'm pretty sure there's a way to check for if there's a monitor. If there is a way, I'll figure it out, and then I can have it check for a monitor. If there isn't one, then it won't just automatically restart the script and just output an error message to the monitor that I can't find. No. But yeah. So if we start this back up, oh dear, should be working fine, yeah. So yeah, this was the first thing that I got working. If I didn't mention that in the previous episode. Basically, I wasn't able to get this working, and so I redid it here to see if it was actually possible, because it would have been easier there without having to deal with peripherals. And when I managed to get that working, I regained hope and continued work on that one. And so basically, now we can move on to this, now that we've gotten all the important stuff out of the way. And this computer is just to get, like, events for what I was doing on these here. This computer here is just constantly outputting a RedNet broadcast every 0.25 seconds, I believe it is. And so it's practically constant. The reason why I put in the point, actually no, it's not 0.25. It's 0.001. So yeah, that's even more frequent than 0.25. In fact, if I yeah. Each time it printed sent there, it sent out a broadcast, and basically that's to update these computers, because so far only this one computer has any code in it. These other ones I just put in for the heck of it, like just there for in case I need this setup again later on in the future. It's already here for a computer. You may hear the people in the background. I don't know. But the reason why that's there is this computer is getting input from the user, but I don't want it sitting there forever waiting for that input, and there's no way to tell it to wait for X amount of time and then just ignore waiting and just move on. And so instead, it's waiting for an event, which is how it's going to get the input. An event can be triggered by pressing a key on the keyboard or getting a RedNet message. See what I'm doing here? Or basically anything else that you can think of along those lines. So, like, placing a block, like, placing a peripheral next to the computer triggers an event, I believe. And there's a lot of stuff that triggers events. And so basically, if it'll wait till the first event is triggered, and so if it gets the key event before the RedNet event, it'll do whatever it does for that key. But if it gets the RedNet event first, it'll just move on. And so basically, what it is I actually made something similar to this using a different language outside of Minecraft. I'll try and show it after this, but basically, using the arrow keys, you can control this little cube here. It's just one pixel, even though it looks like a rectangle, because that's how the it prints things in Computer Craft. But you can jump, you can move side to side. Doesn't let you go off the edges. And yeah. It's got a lot more advanced things, like it's got friction and stuff. And so, like, when I press this, it's just not changing the value. It's like it's changing the velocity, and it does a lot of calculations. However, if you look at it, those calculations aren't really needed, because it just moves it one slot over. However, in the other script that I wrote that does this exact same thing, those extra calculations actually do take effect. But when it's in air, if you press the down arrow key, it makes it fall faster. But as you can tell, it doesn't. It's not really in air long enough for that, and it can't really fall faster than it already does, because yeah. And I guess I can show you the other script thing that I wrote for that. I'm gonna have to, a little bit of advertisement for that channel there. Where is it? Where is it? In here. And it's this, I believe. Yeah. Made this myself. Yeah. This is just some debug stuff there. I can actually disable that pretty easily. If I just go into here, dev mode to 0, close that back out, go back up here, and rerun it. And the debug stuff is no longer there. But yeah. As you can see, the quicker fall actually does take effect here, and if it's not falling, it looks like it's doing a squat, because here it's not checking if it's already on the ground, it's just increasing the speed at which it moves down, and if it detects that it's lower than the ground there, it moves it back up to the ground, and so it creates a squat effect. Yeah. And then there's this, which doesn't work. That was a test, I believe. That. Yeah. If we rename that to just H, and then that to main. Now it should do what it was doing before. Yeah, never got this working. Yeah. If you just look at the numbers and their labels, you can. Yeah. That's just an infinitely growing table there that doesn't really serve a purpose. uh, yeah. Is my desktop. Yep. This is where I do my things. I don't launch Minecraft from here. I have it in my toolbar down there, which you can't see. Nope, that popped up. That's my recording software. It should actually be displaying the name there on screen. It stopped. Here's the slideshow of pictures that I took. We can play that now. Yeah. Things. Nah. I'll put a link to that video in the description. And so I'll see you guys in the next one.